Nurses, for the first batch of nurses who have been brought back from Libya are coming out of the airport. Now, let's go over and get those images for you. Now, this is, of course, the first batch. An Air India flight was chartered to go over and fetch back the nurses who were stuck in Libya. They were crossed over to Tunisia and were picked up from there. They'd been working in the conflict zone. It's 43 Indian nurses who are coming back in this first batch. Now, they crossed over to Tunisia from Tripoli on Monday. Kerala has been continuing to urge the centre to arrange a special flight to bring back the Indian nurses who'd been working in hospitals in Libya. The External Affairs Ministry had informed Umang Chandi that a plan to bring the nurses from Libya to Tunisia by road and from there by a flight to India was being worked out, and that's exactly what's happened now. The flight was chartered, it was sent down, and this group of 43 nurses have returned to India. They have landed even as we speak. Now, there are other nurses, of course, who are still in Tripoli. They're waiting their turn to return to India. Most of these nurses were at the airport right now, working in Tripoli and Benghazi, and efforts are on to transport them to Tunisia. Let's go over to NDTV's Sneha Merikoshi, who joins us on the phone line. Sneha, these nurses coming home, clearly a huge wave of relief.
Yes, in fact, this has come after considerable efforts by the state government and the central government. It was difficult to airlift them from Libya itself because of the tensions which were escalating there. They were taken to Tunisia by road, and from there with a special aircraft they were brought in here. Right now, with me, there are, what I can see is 44 nurses have come out. Right now, they are getting some cash benefits of 2,000 each so that they can take their onward journey forward from here to their respective houses. Families have gathered all around here. They are desperate to see their children. There are several cases where they are the sole breadwinners and they have come here, but this is just the first batch. There's another batch of 48 nurses who have been taken out of Libya. They have reached Tunisia and they will be shortly brought back to India as soon as the logistics are arranged for. But the problem now is that there are almost 322 Malayalis, many of whom are nurses, who have registered with the NORCA department here saying that they want to return from Libya. All of which now translates into a problem because they cannot be brought to Tunisia because the tension has really escalated near Benghazi. So from Benghazi, now the decision is being taken that they will be taken to Malta. And from Malta, with special aircraft, they will be airlifted and they will be brought to India. For now, there is a relief for the families of 44 nurses. Earlier, we were told that there were 43 nurses, but now we're being told that there are 44 nurses who have come here. There was a last moment one addition. All of them are being given a cash price of 2,000 rupees each. There are also concerns about rehabilitation, which have already been made by the families. If you can see around there, the families are eagerly waiting for their children. Many of them are the only children here. Many of them are the breadwinners of the families. Most of the families here are under heavy debts. They have taken loans to ensure that their children who had studied nursing at different levels would be able to go back, would be able to earn sufficiently and provide for the family. All of them, for now, keeping aside the fact that they're debt-laden and only relieved that their children have come back to the country safe.
Right, Sneha, do stay with us while I quickly bring our viewers up to date with what we're bringing them right now. These images coming from the airport where a group of more than 40 nurses who are working in the conflict zone of Libya have landed. They've returned to India. They've landed this morning. They're coming out even as we speak. Now, this is a group of nurses who crossed over to Tunisia from Tripoli on Monday. Kerala, of course, continuing to urge the centre to arrange that special flight to bring back Indian nurses working in hospitals in Libya. The External Affairs Ministry promised Chief Minister Umang Chandi a plan was being put together to bring the nurses from Libya to Tunisia and then a flight from there to India. Now, the first flight clearly there being successful. There are several more nurses who are still in Tripoli waiting for their turn to return to India. They're working in Tripoli and Benghazi in various capacities, and the efforts are on to transport them to Tunisia by arranging a visa on arrival there. Then they will be brought home. Another special flight probably on the cards very, very soon. Now, of course, parents and families of these nurses flocking to the spot to greet their daughters coming home safe and sound. Many of them, of course, having gone to work in Tripoli and other major cities, with families saying they were very scared about their safety. They said that visas of a lot of these women were about to expire, that they hadn't received any money, that they were working there, that there was no guarantee of their safety. They didn't know what the situation was like on the ground. Obviously, contact was sporadic, but now with that one group coming home, clearly, Sneha, there must be a lot of very, very relieved families.
Well, actually, it is a sense of great relief here. If we can just quickly talk to some of the family members, let me just call some of them to come forward and let's talk to them. But meanwhile, as they come, what you can see right behind me are layer of police officials. On that are a group of 44 nurses who have come there, who are registering themselves with the NORCA department, and they are getting a cash benefit of 43,000 rupees, cash benefit of 2,000 rupees to ensure that they are able to take their onward journey forward. Let's quickly talk to some of the parents here. In fact, these two mothers who have been waiting here since morning, their daughter and their son, who happen to be husband and wives, have actually been in Libya since past 8 months. Let's ask them what exactly is there going through their mind. Madam, ippam pillare kandittu avreya nikkunne endwa thonunne ippam?
വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. ഒരു കുഴപ്പവും കൂടെ അതിവിടെ വന്നെത്തിയതിൽ ദൈവത്തിനോട് നന്ദി പറയുന്നു.
What she's saying is, I'm very grateful and thankful to God that they are back. I am very relieved, and I can only say thank you to everybody around. Madam, എന്തുവായിരുന്നു വിചാരിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് ഇത്ര ദിവസം കൊണ്ട്?
ഇതുവരെ കാണാനായിട്ട് ഭയങ്കര ടെൻഷനായിട്ട് ഇരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പം വന്നതിൽ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്.
മോള് പ്രഗ്നന്റ് ആണോ?
അതെ.
എത്ര മാസം?
3 മാസം.
പക്ഷെ തിരിച്ചു വരണ്ടായിരുന്നു?
വരണമായിരുന്നു. അവർക്ക് പോരാൻ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരുന്നു. ഒത്തിരി കടയെല്ലാം ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് പോരാൻ കഴിയാതിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു.
Their daughter is 4 months pregnant. She has been in Libya since past 6 months, but the husband and wife, both of them who are in Libya, did not want to return back despite the wife being pregnant, because they had heavy loans to pay off. They had taken just over 3 lakh rupees just to be able to pay the agent. Beyond that, when they spoke, they have also taken loans for education loan and everything, amounting to quite a huge amount. They did not want to come back despite all of the tension which was escalating in Libya. Even if, Madam, നമ്മളുടെ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഗവൺമെന്റിൽ എന്ന റെസ്പോൺസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ?
അവരിടപെട്ടാണ് കൊണ്ടുവന്നത്.
ഇപ്പം നമുക്ക് എന്തുവാ വേണ്ടിയത്?
ഇനിയിപ്പോ അവർക്ക് എവിടെയാലും നല്ലൊരു ജോലി വേണം.
Well, right now, what most of the people are saying is that they require, they need good employment, without which they don't know what is going to happen. They are very worried. Let me tell you, the state government is ensuring that there are steps being taken to rehabilitate not only the nurses from Libya, but also the earlier nurses who had come from Iraq, all of which there are provisions being made. The talks are going on with banking officials to ensure that the interest amount is waived off and only they have to pay back the principal amount. There are talks going on with business community leaders to ensure that jobs could be offered. Of course, if my camera person could pan that side and just quickly show, even as the nurses there are getting benefits from the state government, what is essentially the problem is that for many of them to get jobs of the higher salary categories, they need to qualify certain exams specifically in the Middle East if they desire to go, most of whom have not. So there are steps being taken by the state government also to ensure that there are coaching classes being conducted in liaison with several other institutions so that they can be trained to clear those exams which are required. Beyond that, what I'm also being told is that given at the hand, there are several hospitals who have offered them job with the condition in the Middle East that they would clear those examinations.